10 mass market decks for spring is a video that I watched on Sylvia's channel, Fairlight Tarot, 2 days ago. And I really liked her video and I think it's a great idea. I want to do a VR. I will tag her video in the description box and let's start. I have 10 decks to show you, mass market decks, all of them for spring, but I have 2 honorable mentions at the end of this video that are a little bit different. You will see. I do have many mass market decks for spring, but these are my absolute top 10. Starting with Numerology Oracle, which was sent to me by Rockpool. I'm actually not sure if this one is out there yet. But it will be released very soon if it's not released by now. It says on the back, discover the vibrational power of numbers to understand your own and others' strengths and weaknesses and how best to take advantage of circumstances, favorable or not, that will occur during your life. This easy-to-use deck includes not only the power of numbers, but also 5 Ascended Master cards, 5 Archangel cards, and more. So the reason I chose this deck is that it's very fresh. It has a very fresh and spring vibe looks to it. Like, look at this gilding. Look at these bags. The moment I saw this deck, I thought of spring. I received it a few months ago, like, I don't know, like 3 months ago, I think. But look at the inside. And it's different. It's a numerology deck. Look at the design of the cards. To me, the design of this deck screams spring. And it has such an interesting design. Right? The cards are matte. It's Rockpool standard cardstock, matte cardstock. I'm going to use this deck this spring. I received it in the middle of winter, in December, I think. And I couldn't work with it because of the spring vibes, because I am very seasonal with my decks. So I've kept it for spring. I have a seasonal basket, and for this video I went and checked that basket, and I remembered that this one is one of the most important ones. The guidebook is really good too. I'm not going to spend too much time on each video. I don't know, do you want me to read it? Let me read this one for you, because you probably have not seen it. Understanding. The number 7 is known as the temple, and its symbol is a triangle sitting on top of a square. This symbol resonates with mysticism and idealism, plus illusion and disillusion. In drawing this card, you are reminded that knowledge is power. What is there in your life right now that requires you to gather knowledge? The more you know, the more success will follow. Use the inner power that you feel right now to inspire others, whether it is in friendship or business. If you listen to your inner guidance, you have nothing to fear. Learn to be pliable with listening and understanding. This is not a time to be unwilling. Be determined in a positive way. If within yourself right now you feel that you'd like some uninterrupted me time, then allow yourself to do that, making sure you inform family and close friends of your intention. This feeling of isolation shouldn't last long, and you'll be your old self in no time. And then it says, this number vibrates to the colors purple, pearl, old rose, and magenta. Wear one or more of these colors when you feel you need a boost. You see, it's very simple, like short and sweet, but it's packed with interesting information. I think this deck is a gem. It pairs with so many things, like you can imagine, right? How pairable this deck is. So I think this deck is a gem, a mass market gem for spring or any time of the year. Okay, this was deck number 1. This is not a countdown. I'm not rating them. I think all of them are amazing. Let me show you this one. I Am Queen Oracle by Auti Harma. This one is also not released yet, but it will be released soon. This is again from Rockpool, and this deck is gorgeous. Look at this box, and the guidebook, even the guidebook is stunning. The borders of the pages are like this really cool gold color. The guidebook is really good. This whole deck is about self-discovery. These are the backs, the gorgeous golden gilding. I will show you all the cards, but I have a review. My previous video, the one I uploaded 3 days ago, is a full review of this deck. So I have showed you all the cards and with all the titles. I read all the titles, and I have pulled a card and read the guidebook. I read the intro, did many pairings, and this deck is not only gorgeous, but also it's packed with, I mean, the guidebook is really good. I have been using it as well. Self-discovery and self-awareness. As I said, the guidebook is really good. So if you want to know more about this deck, I will put a link to that video of mine in the description box, the review video. Also, I will put a link, an Amazon link to all of these decks. If you want to purchase any of them, please remember to go through my links. I would really appreciate that. Let me show you an older one, Tarot of the Kingdoms by Paige Ozma Ashmore. This beautiful deck is very underrated. It opens like this. It was published by Schiffer a few years ago. The cards are large and matte. Look at this box. I love Schiffer boxes. They're very high quality and locks. Compared to your standard tarot card, they are this much wider and a little bit taller. So this one was created by Paige Ozma Ashmore. This person here, she's a professional tarot reader and artist. She has been reading cards for over 30 years and creating art for most of her life. So Paige enjoys combining these two worlds in the form of sacred art. And this deck has its own system. I don't think it's a good idea to spend so much time on each of these decks. But let me just show you. For example, you get, for each card, you get the image of the card in color, and then you get the description, and then divinatory meaning, and then direction to take. So that's really cool, especially for beginners. You get a direction to take. And then for the minors, there is again a description, divinatory meaning, and direction to take. I'm going to show you all the cards. I still want to edge them in the soft pink or yellow maybe. So the cards, all of them are colorful, but in a soft pastel tone. This is the first card that I pulled from this deck. I still remember. So this beautiful tarot deck has a soft and friendly voice. The readings are really nice. It's not really a hug deck, but I remember I had like epiphany moments with it because of the way that the cards are depicted. Like Knight of Water with a water lily in his hand. The meanings are deep. Look how gorgeous this one is. The cards are color coded. This is the suit of fire, obviously. This one is the suit of water. Look how beautiful the borders are. So the borders are color coded. That's what I meant to say. Here is the suit of air. It's a very balanced deck as well. With the energies, I mean, with the energy of the suits, you know, I cannot say this is a water deck or a fire deck or air or earth. You might think it's very earthy, but no, it's at the same time, it's very watery, very fiery, and even airy. The cards are cardboardy, let me tell you that, but they are thick and like good quality. They are not low quality cardboard. Page of Fire, Seven of Water, Ten of Fire, Two of Earth, Queen of Water, the Magician, the Empress, Seven of Air, Eight of Air, Five of Air. How sweet. Two of Air, Judgment, the Star, Temperance, Seven of Fire, the High Priestess, King of Fire, Queen of Fire. How cool. I don't know why this deck, this is Two of Fire. I don't know why this deck is so underrated. I think I've never seen it on TarotTube. The fact that many cards are depicted in a different way, like it deviates from RWS or any other system. But it's explained in the guidebook in a way that it makes perfect sense. But that makes it more interesting, especially if you've been reading tarot for a long time. Sometimes, for me at least, sometimes I feel like I want something different, that I use the guidebook and I get different messages, different type of interpretations. Okay, let me show you this Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck by Lily Ashwell. This one was published a few years ago. It's such a gorgeous piece of work. It has a bigger box that I'm using for my crystals. It has like this gorgeous big box with magnetic closure. I'm using that one for my crystals. Some of my crystals are in there. Look at this design. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. To hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour, by William Blake. This deck has a beautiful guidebook. The guidebook is upstairs in my library, in my bookshelf. So these are the backs. Let me just put them down like this. You see the colors. I don't use this deck anywhere else, any other time than during spring, because I am very seasonal with my decks. And this one is extremely springy. End of winter for me. For me, this is end of winter and spring until like end of May. South Node, destined to release. So you get the name of the planet or the zodiac sign, the nodes as the title of the card, and then you get some keywords and key phrases here, like for the moon, satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. Here you have the sun, self-express and embody truth. Mercury, think, learn, network, and communicate. So the keywords are really good, very clear. These are the main keywords. Like if you wanted to learn the main 3 keywords for each of these concepts, these keywords would be the best in my opinion. And it has a system in the guidebook. It explains like you can separate the zodiac signs, the planets and the houses, and then you pull card one from each pile. So then it's like a chart. You create charts. Or you can, for example, pull cards for your own birth chart and put them together. You can do many things with this deck. So not only the cards are gorgeous, but also the guidebook, the system is really interesting, and the card stock is also very good. The link will be in the description box. The link for all of these decks, guys. Okay, another one from Schiffer, Red Feather, from, I don't know, 10 years ago, I think. I love this box. This is, I think, the older Schiffer boxes. I'm not sure if they're still making this size because it's smaller than their other decks. So, okay, it's called Guardian Tarot by Beth Silonen. And comparing to this one, for example, this one is also by Schiffer. But look at this. I prefer this size, compact. But then you get a smaller guidebook, I understand. For me, I would prefer the guidebook to be thicker. Like, this is a thin guidebook. Okay, the size of the cards. As you see, the cards are a little bit wider and a little bit shorter, so that gives them a more squarish form, which I really like. These are the backs. I have edged them. So this deck is about trees, as you see, tree energy. Very RWS though. And it screams spring, this one. Right? This is again one of those decks that I only use during spring. I cannot use this in winter, for example. I can start using it now. Now that I'm filming this video is 8th of March. So it's the very end of winter. And this is what's happening in nature right now. Right? I love how this deck reads. Very clear reader, very clear, and it's very intuitive as well. This deck pairs very well with many other styles of art. Seven of Wands, Ace of Cups, Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles. To me, it's tree spirit. And I believe in tree spirit. I have communicated with tree spirit many times, and those communications have been the most profound communications I've ever had in my life. So I really cherish this deck. After psychedelic experience, I always use this deck. If you do that type of thing, I really recommend then after that, like the next day, do a reading with this deck. And then you will see. The guidebook. One of the nice things about the guidebook is that it explains what is happening. Like here, for Two of Wands, it says, watching over his world, this guardian dreams to explore the distant mountains. Though he dreams of freedom from his day-to-day existence, he realizes that he has responsibilities for the moment. See, guidebook is written in a very short and clear way. So then it explains, though you have dreams and desires, you will need to attend to your current responsibilities. Should the desire become overwhelming, consider all the pros and cons before acting on this desire and the consequences your actions will have on others. In the reverse, this card can indicate that you are ready to just walk away from the situation just to have a piece of sanity. It has become too much for you to work through or to even consider dealing with at this time. Take a few steps away and retreat to a quiet space to ground yourself. I think it was last spring that I had this deck. For the mornings, I would pull only one card. I will read the messages for the day. It was always useful. Put the card on my altar until the next morning. I think I'm going to do that this year too. It's great for this type of work as well. You can do elaborate readings with it, but because it gives you actionable messages, I like to use it in that manner. Okay, this one is Ostara Tarot. It's a collab deck by Molly Applejohn, Eden Cook, Julia Iredale, and Krista Gibbard. I really apologize. I'm sure I butchered all the names here. These are the artists, the creators of this deck. This is again another Schiffer older deck, and I love it. These are the backs, the gildings. So the name of this deck is Ostara. It is meant for Ostara time, right? Look at the guidebook. The explanation of each card and the reverse meaning. Here are the minors. It's written well. And the cards. So these cards are standard RWS. This is the Fool. And this one is Four of Cups. Five of Cups. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. So it's in order. Eight. Let me keep it in order then. It's Eight of Cups. 9. 10. Page. You see all the cups? Little cups. Knight. This is the cup. Queen. And the King of Cups. Ace of Swords. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, page, knight, queen, and the king. Love the suit of pentacles. So I think because it says Ostara on the deck, I think that's one reason that I always use it in spring. But it does have spring vibes, as you see. And it's a fascinating deck. This is not for a beginner though. Look at this magician. So what's happening here? I have the Fool, Magician, High Priestess, the Empress. I love her. Emperor, Hierophant, the Lovers, Chariot, Strength, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, the Hanged Man, Death, Temperance, the Devil. Love this Devil card. The Tower, the Star, the Moon. As you see, it's not for a beginner really. Judgment. Some cards deviate a lot from any system. It takes your own imagination and quite a lot of tarot knowledge. Like this one is 7 of Wands. This one is 8 of Wands. 9, 10, page, knight, queen, and king. Here we have Ace of Cups and 2 of Cups. Look at these 2 of Cups as well. I think this is a brilliant deck. I used to use it a lot. I used to work with it a lot when I received it. Because it is also standard tarot size. I'm going to work with it this year for sure. I miss it. Okay. So I showed you guys so far 6 decks. There is another 4 to show you, and then the 2 honorable mentions. Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy or Paulina Fay. This one was published by US Games some time ago. I don't know how many years ago, 10 years maybe. These are the backs. Let me lay them down. This is such a gorgeous and moody tarot. Again, the spring vibes are very strong. I like you just pull like 1 or 2 cards and then get lost in the imagery because there is so much detail. These cards are really good for meditation, contemplation, journaling. In my opinion, they can boost your creativity. Some people complained when this deck was released. The first few years that it was very popular. Some people were complaining that it's too busy. I don't think this deck was created to have a elaborate spread with many cards. I mean, you can do that if you want to. But I really think this deck is created for what I just said, for meditation, contemplation, 1 card draw. altar cards, inspiration. They're very inspirational. And they're very moody as well. I used to use it as a clarifier, for clarifying, like as a clarifier. Like I have some cards down on my table, and when I want to pull a clarifier, I will pull one from this deck, because then I would get really lost into the image, and then I always got a download of understanding of what I wanted to know. You know what I mean? Try it. Try it the way I just said. Pull one card for clarification for your reading, and then sit and look at this card and think about your question, what you needed a clarification for, and go into the detail and see how you feel and what you get from this image as an answer. It's really magical. It was very popular, but it's kind of forgotten, and it's a shame. Number 9, Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle by Lauren Anderson and Juliet Diaz, illustrated by Giada Rose. So this one was published by Rockpool a few years ago. I think this is the third one from the series. You probably have seen decks from the series. There is also an Ostara one that was recently released. I wanted to show you guys the Ostara deck, but I thought that one is very popular now, and you've seen it, probably you have it, or you would guess that I'm going to show you guys that deck. And also because Sylvia featured it in her top 10 spring decks video, I decided I'm going to show you guys this one, because this one is also for spring. This is Mayday Beltane. So this is the guidebook. Gorgeous write-ups. I am obsessed with the series. Ever since I have them, they're always downstairs. Like for each season, I take the appropriate one downstairs and I'm pulling one card a day or every other day. I've been working with the series because of many things. But let me tell you guys about this one now. Maybe I will make another video about the whole series of the Seasons of the Witch, but let's talk about this one. So Beltane starts 1st of May, I think. I'm quite sure. The energy. Just look at this deck. Again, one of those that screams spring. This is like when spring is at its full force. Like you're basking in spring energy. It's everywhere. Guys, I come from Tehran, the capital of Iran, and the springtime over there. Tehran is a very four-season city. And the spring, that smell, that vibe in the air goes on and on strongly for like 2 months. It starts from like 15th of March and until like 15th, 20th of May. You feel the spring. You know that spring smell? That in some countries, like over here in Holland, you feel it just for 2-3 days and it's very subtle. Over there, it's so strong. This deck reminds me of that. The strong spring vibes in Tehran. Next, the deck number. Oh no, sorry. This one was deck number 8, I think. Let me see how many decks I showed you. Yeah, this was number 8. Number 9 is the Flower Child Tarot by Kira Kayan, published by Page Street Publishing. This was released recently, like a month ago, and I like it so much. The box is good. The quality of everything is really good. This is the guidebook. Look how cool it is. And you get a description, upright and reverse meaning for each card. Every single card in color. So you can even sit down and just read this book first, if you feel like it, to familiarize yourself with the deck, with the cards, how each card is described. But it's very RWS. This is a RWS clone. These are the gorgeous backs. I still need to edge it. And 70s vibes, spring color palette, right? So cool. When I received it like a month ago, I did work with it for like 2 weeks every day. So I've done something like 20 readings with it, proper readings. It is an RWS clone, as you see, but it definitely has its own voice, which is a fresh and hopeful voice, you know? It's full of hope. And aspirations. The cardstock is nice and buttery. What a great production. Love the colors. When you lay the cards next to each other, so joyful. And you have the occasional frog, which makes it even better. Fairy vibes. Beginning of spring. When I received it was midwinter. It was like beginning of February. But I still wanted to, like, this is one of those decks that I couldn't even wait until spring. That's how much I like it. Also, the tactile experience is really good. I think I'm gonna still use it in the spring a few times at least. Okay, so this was deck number 9. And then we have one more. And don't forget to stay for the 2 honorable mentions at the end. Another rock pool deck, Anamara Oracle. Be guided by your loving soul companion by Sorsa Sionach. Saorsa Sionach. I again apologize. This has such a good texture. So it says, let the Anamara, your soul companion, nurture your inner journey. On the quirky path of life, who wouldn't wish for a loving friend to hold their hand for every decision they make or every doubt they have? Discover the Anamara, your spirit guardian, and free yourself from prejudice and limiting beliefs. It really does that. This deck really does that. And you have the same linen that you had on the box. You have it on the book cover. This is so good. The copper metallic gilding, and look at the bags. It's beautiful. Okay, let me show you the guidebook first. You get this much per card. So this is your soul's guardian, basically. And if you believe in soul's guardian, if you believe that you have a guardian or guardians, I really recommend this one. This is actually an Irish concept, Anamara. Let me show you the cards. This one, Elders, is the title. And then you get key phrases. Knowledge is a meadow where any flower is for me to pick. And the images are very sweet. I love this one. You, in the shadows we share, all candles are bright. I love these key phrases. Again, this deck screams spring. The cards are matte. This one was published last year, a year ago, I think. And I have not seen it much on TarotTube. It's very underrated. The guidebook is written beautifully. I really recommend this one, guys. Unless you're not into this style of artwork or the whole concept of the soul's guardian. Otherwise, I really recommend you get this one. Okay, the two honorable mentions. These are honorable mentions because one of them is a Marseille deck, just because of that. Because I know not everyone reads with Marseille. This one is Squid Cake Tarot Marseille by Jess Roller. It's a mini deck. Look at this. So good. This one again published by wrapup. And the guidebook for this deck is brilliant. It simplifies Marseille system. And it's written really well. And it gives you keywords. I saw Lisa Popez has written the keywords and the functions of the cards on the cards. And I want to do the same. Although I am a seasoned Marseille reader, I know the Marseille system very well, but I like to do that still. I find it still helpful. Okay, so these are the backs. Let me show you the size, by the way. The size is this much narrower and shorter than your standard tarot card. Gorgeous, soft pink gilding. And yeah. So these are the characters. It's like a baby deck. Not only because of the colors, I look at it as a spring deck, but also because these are like babies to me somehow. It has baby energy. Obviously, this one is an adult, but they look like they're from a toddler's book or a cartoon. Right? And to me, babies and toddlers also have a strong spring energy. I will definitely write down all the keywords, definitely. Because I've never tried reading a Marseille deck with keywords, like with keywords written on them. You have many other, like Tot always has, most of the time has keywords. You have RWS decks with keywords, but I have never seen a Marseille deck with keywords. And I want to try that. I have so many projects. Okay, the last one, the last deck of this video, my second honorable mention, is the French Star Child Tarot by Daniel Noel. I know this deck is an indie deck all over the world, but in France, this is a mass market deck, a really high quality one as well. So let me show you. Let me show you the cards. I cannot tell you guys how high quality these cards are. Don't know how to describe it. Really high quality. They are a little bit shiny, not high gloss, but a little bit glossy. And it shuffles well. The cards are soft and luxurious. This is the Akashic card. Queen of Cups. Cavalier, the Knight of Cups. Page of Crystals, which is the page of Earth. And yeah, if you know French, or even if you don't know French, you just need to learn a few words, basically. The name of the suits and the numbers. I have not worked with it for a few years now. But I saw it recently in my collection when I was looking for something else. And then I immediately pulled it out and put it in my spring basket. If you have many decks in your collection, having baskets is a must. Otherwise you're lost, and this way you will get to work with all of your decks. Like I have baskets for everything. I have not only seasonal baskets, but like shadow work basket, inner child basket, and I have also sections, different sections in my shelves. I want to rehome some of my decks, but the thing is that my collection is so curated that I love most of my decks now. Like I cannot let go of any of them anymore. I used to rehome my decks, but I can't anymore. I have only a few to rehome. Anyways, as you see, I don't need to explain how springy this gorgeous deck is and ethereal. It is an honorable mention because I know in most places this is not a mass market deck. But if you're in Europe, you can order it from Amazon France. I think even in other countries outside Europe, you can order from Amazon France. I'm quite sure. So if you know French or if you want to learn a few French words, this could be a gorgeous mass market deck for you for spring. So guys, this was my video. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end if you did. And let me know what is your spring favorite deck. It doesn't have to be mass market, but let me know in the comments because I am very interested in getting to know your decks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, if you want to see more of my videos, of course. And also let me know which one of these decks that I showed you was your favorite. And I hope to see you in the next one.